Hi everyone, it's Koinzell here. So today I'm going to talk about the Raven buff. We just got the Raven buff last week. I'm just going to go through the patch notes and I'll show you guys in game how the buff looks like now. Okay, so basically, first off, there's a general change to the Sorcerer's class itself, which means it affects the Raven as well as the Reaper, where the maximum number of the Darkness fragments is increased from 3 to 5. So you see from here, as you can see, it has been increased from 3 to 5. Okay. And it's saying that there's an error with the description. All along, it is every 5 seconds you will get one of the darkness fragment. Now they have changed the description accordingly. It used to say it's 10 seconds, but it was actually 5 seconds. So now it's tallied to 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, you generate one darkness fragment. Okay. Basically, there's quite a number of skills that has been increased such that they have the option to use up the darkness fragment. I'll run through them shortly. You see here, basically all of these skills can use the darkness fragment. Even if, sorry, I should say put it the other way around. All of these skills can generate the darkness fragment when you use them. And this, usually you consume the fragment, but when you don't have enough fragments, it will generate one fragment. So this means her fragment arc is now very strong. It basically means that you will be having fragments all the time. Okay. And you don't need to really care about how your fragments are being maintained. Okay, so now let's talk about the I believe it's the second skill that's being buffed here. Yep. So this skill is really good. The super armor even applies in arena. It's not removed, but that's not the main change here. The main change here is number 1. When you don't use the darkness fragment, it will help you generate 1. The effect of the darkness fragment here is to increase the distance moved. Okay. Doesn't sound like much, I know, but the actual most important change I would say is this point here, where it adds a combo effect. When you use this, after you use this skill, using this will be much faster, which is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9th skill. The 9th skill here will be much faster. So let me show you guys. Okay. So this is the usual speed. You can see her moving and then there's a bit of like a charging kind of effect before she slams down. Now let's see in combo. This is almost immediate, right? The charging effect is slowed down. The charging effect is basically faster now. It immediately activates. The moment she disappears, she immediately. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit slow on that. I think the skill just finished cooldown. That's why I missed the timing. Okay. So it's really a lot faster. At least 2 times faster. Yeah. Okay. Other than that, oh, sorry, I forgot to mention this part here, where by default this skill has increased attack speed and AoE now. It used to be an enhanced effect to get the increased AoE, but that enhanced AoE effect has now been changed to increased movement speed. I mean, previously when it was using the darkness fragment, the effect was to increase the AoE. So now it became increasing the distance. Okay, which actually is important because it adds to her mobility for chasing people in Black Sun. I'll show that later. But obviously this is not the main skill to chase people with. It's the dash attack, and in fact her retreating skill can be used to chase as well. So most important thing is I would say the attack speed and the AOE is increased, which is actually quite noticeable, because this skill, I remember it used to be quite slow. At least now it's much faster, and the combo effect of this, right, basically makes it such that that movement, right, when she moves, after she doing this, she's a bit vulnerable or slow at the point of landing, and basically the combo gets rid of that. That is very nice. Okay, now moving on to the next skill. This is the dash attack. Darkness fragment effect. A new darkness and fragment effect has been added. It uses 2 fragments. Okay, basically you get to use it one more time. That is the effect of the dash attack. Yeah, you heard me right. You get to use the dash attack one more time, which means you can dash 2 times in a row. Unfortunately, I don't have skill level 2 on this Raven. I was trying to farm to get it, but I wasn't lucky enough. Couldn't get the number of skill boosts required. So never mind, I'll run through the description itself. Basically, you can use your dash attack twice once you use the Darkness Shard effect. So you can imagine, right, with 5 fragments, right, you can actually use it up to 3 times. But there's a catch here where the second time, the subsequent, I'm not sure, okay, I haven't tested it, I'm not sure whether you can use up to 3 times, but it sounds like potentially you can use up to 3 times. It'd be really good if that's the case, but I would think that it's better not to. After all, you want to be using your shards on other stuff. Your darkness fragments on other stuff, and I'll go through them and you'll know why. Okay, now I need to talk about the second use, right? The second use, basically that second use where it basically does not have these items in fact here, which means the second use will not allow the you don't get the defense buff, you don't get the bleeding effect, you don't get the reduced mental energy cost or spirit energy cost. You still get the invulnerable, you still get the super armor, but you don't get the bound or stun on hitting. Okay, and you can't use it in arena, so it's really more for GVG basically. You can't dash twice in arena. If dash twice in arena, it's way too in bar, right? So you can only use it only once in arena. Yeah, this does not take effect in arena, but it works in GVG. Okay. So that's the main effect. The other thing is also it slightly increases the distance. It's not mentioned here, in fact. Yeah, but in the notes here, there is a slight increase in the distance, the movement distance of the skill itself. So which means your dash attack moves further. So let's look at the dash attack. And it's not bad. I don't have the darkness fragment right now, so I can't really show. But even without the darkness fragment, I think it's still quite alright, the dash attack. With the darkness fragment, I think it will be increased slightly. Unfortunately, I don't have the chance to test it. Okay, moving on to the next skill. Okay, so this is the skill where she basically does a retreat. The retreat skill. Okay, of course you can still use it to chase with the correct usage in the direction. Right. Just that you sacrifice the attack, but you still get the movement. Okay, this is, in my opinion, the biggest buff here. Okay, let me not talk about this first. I talk about the darkness fragments first. So the darkness fragment is the same as the dash attack. Basically, use 2 fragments, and you can use it again. Yep, you can use the retreat move again. But obviously, you can't use it in arena, but it can be used in GVG. So that's still very, very, very good. Okay, here it is. There you go. You can use it again. The retreating skill. Oh, same effect, or rather same balance effect is there, where reduce cooldown as well as this movement speed debuff is not there. It's not taken effect, but you still get your invulnerability. So in my opinion, this is quite alright actually. It's nice. But it also means that in GVG you have to be careful with the way you use up this fragment, because you want to be using your fragment on the trademark skill, the blast, which reminds me of that Dragon Ball move, the Kakaro's, the one where he gathers all the energy from everyone, from the earth, etc. Okay, why did I mention this? Because there is an added bonus effect. Okay, the base effect of this skill, the retreat skill, also has an increased distance, which I think you guys will have seen just now, right? When I was trying to move it, it was actually quite far a distance. So the jump is really quite far. Let's use the fence as a gauge. It's actually further than the dash attack. Of course, with the fragment, maybe the dash attack is the same. Not sure on that. Okay, so the distance has been increased for the retreating move. And the most important thing is that the explosion move, right? The bomb move has an increased speed when you link it together with the retreat move. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so this is the normal speed, right? Okay, this is when you use it right after you use the retreat move. Do you see how fast it casts? For reference, let's look at it without the combo. Okay, so you still need to watch her slowly gather the energy before she blasts, and that's when I spam. If I don't spam, it takes even longer, right? Okay. It's still the same, by the way, if you don't spam. But when you do spam, oh, crap, the retreat move wasn't ready. Sorry about that. Okay. Look at how fast it is now. There's no charging involved at all. And this is very, very strong, by the way. Because this is like her strongest move, the bomb move. I imagine you can chase someone in Black Sun. Oh wait, let me just lock that target. Okay. Look at how far it is, and the speed of it as well. Okay, lock target again. Let's look at all her mobility options, right? Okay, you can also do this. Shit. It was on cooldown, my bad. Okay, let me just finish all the cooldown first. Obviously, this is a bit slow for chasing people, but it's a pretty decent combo. But if you really want to chase someone, you can imagine how far it is, right? Let's wait for that bot to spawn. Oops, wrong one. My bad. It's very, very strong if you are chasing someone in Black Sun. Remember how 777 always get a lot of kills with Raven? It's the bomb. Obviously with other skills as well, but don't forget that the bomb, right, its cooldown is only 5 seconds. That's the reason why it's so strong. Wait, okay. Cooldown is only 5 seconds. Debuff effect is 20 DP buff and movement speed debuff. The breathe and R hit. Actually, R hit is better for this. Yeah, R hit is better for this. Because it's a skill with a lot of damage. I know it's only 4 hits. Ideally, if this were 5 hits, then R hit will be even better. Oh, at level 4. Oh yeah, I shouldn't jump the gun, right? Let me go back to that retreat movement buff first. The buff patch notes first. Oh wait, this is different. Hang on, let me look at it again. I just realized that the text is saying something very different here. It's actually saying that the invulnerability is not in effect in arena for when you use it with the Darkness Fragment, where you can use it again, right? The skill using it again. You don't get the invulnerability, but you can use it in arena. This is what it's saying. You can use it in arena. Okay? So likewise for the dash attack, right? It means the same thing. Let me just double check. Yeah, it means the same thing. You can use it in arena as well. It's just that there's no super armor and invulnerable effect with the dash attack. So you still can use the skill again. So that's really in bar. It's just that without the super armor and the invulnerability, there's still a bit of risk. It's not as good as before, definitely. But at least you get that mobility, right? I think it's important, no? Having the additional use of the dash attack as well as the retreat skill. Even if it doesn't have the effect of super armor and invulnerable, it really gives you, it opens up all the mobility options. It's really strong. Okay. I'll get a look at these stats instead of this, because the way they put the stats here is separated into 2 lines. So that's why I thought that it just means that the entire skill cannot be used. If I read the description here, it's basically saying that it can be used again in arena, just that you don't get the super armor or invulnerability effect. Wow, okay, that's really strong. But it also means that you gotta be careful with your fragment. Okay, now let's talk about the bomb skill. What is the buff to the bomb skill? So basically, there used to be an enhancement effect to increase the AoE, so that has been removed to become a new enhancement effect, which is to use the Darkness Fragment. And this AoE increase is there by default. This is what it's saying. The AoE increase is there by default. You no longer need the enhancement. The enhancement effect is really to be able to use the Darkness Fragment. You need skill level 4 for that. Okay, the second line is just saying a bit of the change. The description used was incorrect. So now it's talking about the arrow effect left by the bomb skill. And the aura here is saying that now this is the actual damage. It's actually 135% of your bomb effect. So that's really nice. But I think the nicest thing, or the strongest part, is the fact that by using 3 Darkness Fragments, you get an additional bonus 30% damage on the bomb skill. So the bomb skill was already pretty high damage. I mean, it's not as high as those like 1800+% kind of damage. It's about 1300%. But in return cooldown is much shorter. And when you combo it now, the cast is so fast. The music is too loud, it's trying to make me compete on the voice. sorry, I'm just looking for another music. Okay, so basically, right, this skill is very strong now because of the 30% buff. That's number one. Number two is cast really fast now with that retreat skill now. Okay, it's really very nice. Oh, and the last buff here is the fact that when you use your level 70 skill, I think everyone calls it the heal skill, right? The level 70 skill immediately fills your darkness fragments by 5. Immediately generate all 5 darkness fragments. And ensures that you have darkness fragments to use. So it's wow, it's very strong, I have to say. You guys saw, right, how fast it is. This skill increase distance. This has a combo effect where it's faster, and on top of the other buffs that are there, in terms of the AOE and speed, especially for this, AOE and speed is increased. On top of that, you have a combo effect with this skill, the knife skill, to make it activate even faster. Retreat skill, I'm basically going through the summary of the buff. Retreat skill is increased distance. On top of that, sorry, now I need to wait for both skills to cool down. It doesn't show the cooldown effect now. I think it's because I don't have the darkness fragment there. Okay. So fast now. Like seriously? So fast. I mean, just imagine, right? If you do a combo, how fast it is. I'm a bit slow here. Obviously, you see me retreating quite far. Okay. Of course, the actual combo will be that's the full combo. But if you want a fast, even faster one, lesser damage, and more importantly, you have both super armor and the evasion. Sorry, the invulnerability. It's very strong. In fact, I think in arena you should remove the darkness fragment for this too. I'm not sure whether or not by default it is the first that has the darkness fragment effect. I believe it is, especially when your fragments are full. If you use this, I believe you'll be using it without the... I'm not sure because I don't have the skill level 2 to test it out. Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's the first one that consumes the fragment or the second one. Maybe what it does is that it consumes the first move will consume the 2 fragments, but it will still have the invulnerability. The second move will not have the invulnerability in arena, or maybe it just removes the invulnerability by default. Then if that's the case, by default it should be removed in arena, because the invulnerability and the super armor is more important for these 2 skills, I would say, than being able to use it again. Okay, so I was saying, right, how fast it is. Look at this. You just dish out 4 skills of damage in like a few seconds. So fast. So I think this is why basically, right, the buff to Raven is giving her a huge buff in terms of her burst damage. There's also an increase in her mobility, of course. Just look at how far this is. And also the fact that you can use this dash attack again in Black Sun. Yeah, I think that's really good. I think it's only in arena that you should not give up the invulnerability and the super armor. You should use it without. It's going crazy. Okay, you should use it without in arena. Don't use the darkness fragment effect. But I think in GVG it depends. Maybe it's best not to use it as well. Then your fragments will always be preserved for this, right? But it's not so bad because when you don't use fragment on this, it will help to generate fragments as well. Yeah, so that's nice. maybe the retreat skill should maintain its invulnerability effect. And the dash attack, that really need level 2 to test it out. Okay, but in general, these are the buffs that are there to Raven. Basically, now she has high burst damage and higher mobility, and I think she's with this, right? I think she can definitely be at the first few of A tier, or maybe even bottom of S tier. That I really need to try her out in that type of scenario before it can be concluded. But definitely a tier at the very least. Okay, so thanks everyone for watching. See you guys next video. Bye.